In today's video, I will be making a rod progression guide video showing you guys what rod to aim for inside the fish. This is going to be the ultimate rod progression guide, so if you're starting with a flimsy rod, by following this guide, this is the best path to follow, knowing what rod to get next. And in today's video, I'll show you the best path to follow. So if you got the flimsy rod, the first rod that I highly recommend you getting is the magma rod. Skip the training rod as well as the carbon rod and just go straight to the magma rod. So if you guys are like level 1 to the game, literally level up as fast as you possibly can, and what you want to do is make your way to the Roslet Island. Once you made your way to the Roslet Bay, you pretty much want to follow exactly where I go to get your magma rod. In order to get the magma rod, you want to speak to Orc. By speaking to Orc, he will tell you to get a pufferfish. Once you get a pufferfish, you want to give the pufferfish to Orc. I will show you guys how to get a pufferfish right now. So, what you want to do is get a pufferfish. I'll show you guys how to get a pufferfish right now. If you do make your way to this exact location, this is where you can get pufferfish. So if you do come to the exact location where I am right now, this is where you can get pufferfish. As you can see, we just got a pufferfish on my first try. Now let's get the magma rod. Guys, trust me to get a pufferfish on my first ever go. Like, come on, that is some crazy luck, I can't lie. As you can see, if you do make your way back to Orc, you want to hold out your pufferfish, speak to Orc, and you will then get yourself the magma rod. Go to your inventory. We now got the magma rod. As you can see, look how insane that does look. The reason why the magma rod is really good is because you can actually fish in the volcano with it, as you can see. However, once you got the magma rod, you then want to get the steady rod. However, if you really want to, you can just skip the magma rod and just get the steady rod. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm happy that there's something called the steady rod in the game, because you guys don't really know how good the steady rod is. The steady rod is really good because you can literally get really expensive fish with a steady rod if you do know what you're doing. So at the same island where Roslet is, guys, you can just make a ton of money with the magma rod, right? And then once you got enough money, you can straight up just get the steady rod. So the steady rod is located right there, as you can see. So go ahead, buy the steady rod for 7,000. It's really good because for max kg, you can just catch heavy fish with this fishing rod. It's one of the best rods in the game, believe it or not, and it's really cheap. Looking at the progression guide, we got the steady rod. We now need to get the Aurora rod or the mythical rod. If I'm going to be brutally honest with you, you can completely skip this if I'm going to be honest with you. However, I'll still show you guys how to get one of these if you want to. I highly recommend you getting the mythical rod or the Aurora rod. If I'm going to be honest with you, the Aurora rod is pretty hard to get. So I'm just going to show you how to get the mythical rod. Traveling merchants do spawn randomly inside the fish. By going to a traveling merchant, there's a rare chance that the traveling merchant will sell the mythical rod. The mythical rod is really good for making money. Every time you catch a fish, there is a 10% chance of the fish that you catch to become mythical, which you can sell the mythical fish for a lot more money. So the mythical rod is really good. However, once you got the mythical rod, I highly recommend you going ahead and getting the trident rod. Make your way to the desolate deep. Before you even can get the trident rod, you want to get 100% desolate bestiary. I did do a video showing you guys how to do that. Once you get 100% desolate bestiary, you want to follow exactly where I go. You also do need to get 5 enchant relics. There's a 1 in 500 chance of you getting an enchant relic whenever you do fish. So whenever you do get enchant relic, I highly recommend you not using it and saving it. Once you make your way right over here, guys, you can see that there's 5 pedestals where you need to put your enchant relics on, like that. Once you put 5 enchant relics on here, you should be able to go inside of the door. As you can see, you can make your way into the trident room, And you can buy the trident rod. I'll showcase it right now if you guys want to see what it's like. But as you can see, this is where the trident rod is located, and it's honestly one of the best rods in the entire game. If we do look back at the progression guide, the next rod we do need to get is the no life rod or the rod of the depths. If I'm going to be honest with you, get the rod of the depths. Rod of the depths is one of those rods that you want to be aiming for. It's the best rod in the entire game. Might even be better than the no life rod. If you want to get the rod of the depths, I'll show you how to get that rod right now. These are the requirements that you need. You need 2 enchant relics, one being hexed, one being absol. You then need to get a depths key, and you also need 750,000. I will be showing you guys how to get all of those in today's video as well. Before you even go to the depths, guys, what I highly recommend you getting are those enchant relics. You can get those enchant relics by either fishing or getting a normal enchant relic and appraising it in Moosewood. This is probably going to be the hardest thing to get, just because it's so rare to get a enchant relic with these mutations on. If you guys do go to the FISCH Discord server, there's actually a trading plaza. If you guys have got something to trade for those enchant relics, join the server and you can get them a lot more easier, because it's going to take you a while to get those enchant relics. I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't want to trade or anything like that, it's going to take you a lot more longer, but you want to get a normal enchant relic and start appraising it right over here. It's going to cost you quite a lot of money trying to get these enchant relics, if I'm going to be honest with you, which is why I highly recommend you trying to trade for them. Once you've got yourself those 2 enchant relics, you then want to go to vertical. You can go to vertical by finding a strange whirlpool that does appear randomly around the ocean in FISCH. Once you do find a whirlpool, for some reason they always spawn next to Moosewood now, so your best luck to get a whirlpool is by going to Moosewood. Once you're at Moosewood, go inside of a whirlpool, and as you can see, you are now in vertical. In order to go ahead and get yourself access to the depths, guys, you do want to get 100% bestiary in vertical. It's kinda easy to get, guys, so you want to get 100% bestiary in vertical. Once you got 100% bestiary, you then can enter the depths pretty much. I did do a separate video showing you guys how to get 100% bestiary in vertical. You can get everything in vertical, right? But this is actually called a mythical. It's called the isonate fish. You can only get it by fishing on top of whirlpools. That is the only way you can get yourself this fish. Just to let you guys know. Once you got 100% bestiary, you then need to get yourself the key. You need to get the depths key. You can get the depths key by fishing in vertical. So you want to make your way right over here and follow where I go. As you can see, guys, this is where you want to go ahead and open up the maze. So if you do go up here and you speak to the NPC, he does say, legends say the king statue is pointing to a unknown treasure, pretty much. So what you want to do, guys, is put the enchant relic that you got, the absol enchant relic, on here. So this is where you want to place your absol enchant relic. I'll show you guys where you want to place your hexed enchant relic right now. So you want to make your way up to this waterfall. Once you do make your way up in this waterfall, make sure you get basic diving gear just in case you do drown. More than likely you won't drown, but just to be on the safe side, put it on. And then go here, as you can see. And as you can obviously see, guys, this is where you want to put your hexed enchant relic. If you do speak to the NPC, he does say, I've been here for many centuries, no one ever found the stone for the pedestal. What kind of stone? It's going to be a hexed enchant relic. Then you want to put your absol enchant relic on this one, which is right below us. As soon as you do that, the maze will then open up. Make your way through the maze a little bit like this. This is the direction and maze guide, so you know where you're going. If I was you, make sure you get yourself a advanced diving gear. You might actually drown if you don't watch this video, just to let you guys know. So it's really important that you watch where I go in the maze before you even try to go there, because you are more than likely going to be getting lost if you don't follow this maze walkthrough. However, once you do make your way through, you can get yourself a rod of the depths for 750,000. Rod of the Depths is one of the best rods in the game right now. I highly recommend you getting it. Matter of fact, it might even be better than the no life rod. So I highly recommend you getting it. It has a quick showcase and all of the details that you need to know about the Rod of the Depths. I'm going to draw a red line showing you guys a guide what you should follow. So from the flimsy rod, you should make your way all the way to the magma rod. However, personally, I think you should skip the magma rod and just go to the steady rod because it's pretty cheap. It's 7,000. And then I highly recommend you going ahead and getting the mythical rod because you don't really want to spend too much time getting the Aurora rod because it's really hard to get. If you don't want to get the mythical rod and you've already got enough ancient relics, you can just completely skip that and get the trident rod. Please don't get the Destiny rod or the King's rod. Get the Trident rod. It's the best rod between them all. And then you can straight up just get the Rod of the Depths. And with that, you can easily get the No Life rod for free. So that is the path that you want to follow. Hopefully this video helped you out on becoming a noob to a pro. And peace out.